Yo, GM guys, I'm back. Hey Nick, I'm glad to be back, man. And you're muted, man,
I'm muted.
again. Okay.
I'm
So guys,
sorry.
this is no, that's fine. That's fine. Thanks for hanging on here without me the last few days. Dude, I was so sick. I mean, I'm
No,
I-
no.
I'm not yeah, I'm not 100% yet, but it feels good to be better. So guys, this is the $1 trade show. As you know, we come together from Monday to Thursday to cover all the news there are and all developments on prediction markets front. And let's get started today with this post from, let me share with you, Dustin Gauker. So it comes to something that Nick mentioned that yesterday about the volume on Cauchy and poly market. So he's just saying here, okay, there's obviously a ton of noise in Cauchy volume in early days. As you know, most of the volume in Cauchy and poly market is related to sports. And it's grown a lot since the start of football. But it's still weird to see volume dip Saturday over Saturday and Sunday over Sunday. Should be going up every week just by existing. So what he's saying here is that when you go week after week, he's seen after a spike, he's seen less volume from comparing week to week on Saturdays and week to week on Sunday. Which, I mean, he's saying that, but this is not exactly what the chart is showing here.
So we would say
Uh,
that's a weakening in performance, right? So it was strong out the box, and then week after week, it looks like it's in decline. But that's only 3 weekends, right? So
yeah,
how we need to look at that is we don't know if that's a seasonal trend, right? You
could
you
be,
you would
yeah.
need a year's worth of data.
Mm-hmm.
You would need a season's worth of data to be able to map it. Like we could see, like in 2 weeks' time, that it shoots back up. So yeah, I mean, I don't. It's the difference between the first one and the third one's quite big. The second one, I mean, does it
Yeah,
average out? Basically, does it average out?
yeah,
We don't know,
maybe.
but you
Yeah,
you
but
need more data than that. But it could be just a start of season trend.
it could be the case. But as you said, we need more data to make sure there is a trend here. Anyway, and guys, let me just stop here and let me. We have a special guest today. We were waiting for him, and let me add him to the stream. Hi, Jitoshi. How are you, man? Nice to have you on the
G-
show.
GM, how are you guys? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear
yeah.
you. We can hear you. We are
Nice.
we are really glad to have you here on the show. Guys, if you don't know Jitoshi, this is him. Give him a follow. We are really glad to have you here, man. Please introduce yourself. Let people know. I can see. I would say you're a dogs person, but let
Yeah,
us know more about you.
We're also
well,
interested in you personally. It's not just about what you're building. Do you like dogs or cats? This is
Yeah,
very
I'm,
important.
I'm this
I'm
kind of
def
person. Yeah.
I'm definitely a dog person. But man, just
Let,
super busy, super crazy morning. I mean, the last 5 days have been like absolutely nuts since Friday. But we'll talk about that. I guess my background is I've been doing like I've been doing like a startup since I graduated college, but when pandemic hit, which was like 2 years after I graduated
Mhm.
college, I learned how to code while we were stuck inside, and then I took like a coding boot camp, and I took that into getting a job at Polygon, where I was doing um, like DevOps, software development, a few things for them actually. And then from Polygon, I was taking my stimulus check and my paycheck and just dumping it all into Solana because I saw the vision. And
Uh-huh.
from Polygon, I ended up getting a job at Sharkify, which as a smart contract engineer. So Sharkify is an NFT lending platform on Solana, but NFTs are kind of dead. So I think I haven't
How
really heard
dare
much
you?
of. I
There's a whole
know,
bunch
I
of
know,
people out there hoping this comes back.
dude.
Don't
No,
kill their dreams. Don't do
no,
it.
it's so
Yes,
funny.
don't tell
It,
them, don't tell them.
it's so funny because I have so many. I like one of my like favorite trading groups. Like 70% of these individuals in that chat are like really big NFT holders. Like they hold like the most prominent NFTs on like on the Ethereum side, right? So they're all like
Mm.
they're all like hundreds of thousands of dollars deep in JPEGs. And I'm just like guys, like we've been in a bull market for 3 years now, and you guys are still like have your liquidity like locked up in these things, unable to make other plays because their liquidity is all locked up, and like dude, just letting the whole entire cycle pass them by. But
Mm.
anyways, so yeah, so I was at Sharkify, left there. I went to Metaplex, which is funny because Metaplex built the NFT standard on Solana. They built out most of the token infra on Solana. They're actually killing it right now. I was taking a look at their token last night before bed. Um, I ended up cheating my entire token allocation from that company during the bear market, which
Oh.
I'd probably be up like 3 or 4x now. And then from Metaplex, I ended up launching an NFT project, which was like the dude never do that, like absolute max pain. Um, like dude, CT is just like the most like retarded group of people ever. It's like they buy something and price doesn't go up immediately. They want to kill themselves.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but so after that, I took some time, and then now I'm at Cube Exchange where I'm doing growth and community. So my core focus really is just driving fees through our platform. Last month we had a record number in fees generation. Obviously, we're not doing like millions of dollars like Pump Fund or some of these other platforms, but for a centralized exchange, we're doing pretty well. And yeah, on the side, I've just been hacking away at things. Been like really deep into prediction markets since like July, basically. Um, and I'm currently working on something for prediction markets. Actually, I didn't tell you about this. Um, wait, who did I speak with again
See,
over the
with
Me,
phone?
Nick,
Nick,
with Nick. Yeah, yeah.
Nick.
Nick. Yeah, Nick. Yeah. So yeah, Nick. I didn't speak. So when I was talking to Nick, I was originally working on like this consumer product for prediction markets, but I've actually pivoted, and now I'm writing code again, and I'm working on a AI agent um, that can like autonomously market make on Polymarket actually. So
Cool.
Mm.
my friend my friend has this open source repo that he created called Jito, and it's the only agent framework that can uh, launch swarms of agents at scale, and like legit the only one. For anyone who was here during the AI run last earlier this year, um, these like agent frameworks ran to like billions of dollars. This guy's
Mhm.
framework is like 10x like the quality and the breadth that any of those other ones really had. So for me, I'm looking at this as an opportunity to really like contribute to some open source code and build something to kind of help me farm the Polymarket airdrop because that has been confirmed. So yeah, I'm uh I'm working on getting some market making done for these prediction markets because once I can do it for Polymarket, then I can go ahead. I can add Kalshi and any other prediction market that's
Limitless
going to need some
millions.
market making. Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah.
it.
Okay. Okay. And so I have this post here from three days ago when you mentioned working on these AI agents. So how it works exactly? Could you give us a little bit? Could you explain us a little bit more exactly
Yeah,
how it
sure.
works?
So basically, the GitHub repo is called Jito. You guys can check it out. It's built in Elixir. And for people who don't know what Elixir is this it's like the best coding language to build highly distributed systems. So like Discord is built in Elixir, Telegram is built in Elixir, WhatsApp is built in Elixir. it's really built for like really large networks, right? So my
Mhm.
friend went ahead and he wrote out this agent framework, which basically allows you to create like an AI agent. And the framework has these things called skills, which are basically like you can think of it kind of like as like agent capabilities. So you can go ahead and create an agent through Jito, and then you can add these skills to it. So maybe a skill might be like a Polymarket skill, right? So the agent now has the ability to interact on Polymarket, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you want to create like a Jupiter skill. So like you make it you like contribute some open source code that would allow for anyone who creates an agent with Jito to interact with Jupiter Exchange. So they can do like swaps, or they can LP, or they can trade perps, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mhm.
so so it's like it's pretty cool because you can basically you basically can create agents with Jito, and then people or anybody can really just like create these skills and allow for Jito to interact with all of these different softwares, right? Softwares or platforms or blockchains in general, right? Like Jito has a lot of Solana capabilities because the founder, I met him through the Solana trenches. He's like a real Solana OG as well. So so yeah, like for me, like this is some alpha. The founder of Jito is going to be, you know, he's going to be making some pretty big announcements with the direction of the open source project, and there may or may not be a token coming. So, I wanted to really kind of get involved on the ground floor. So I'm like, all right, let me start coding again, and let me actually build something that I'm going to want to use.
Mhm.
And
Mm-hmm.
dude, so far it's been kind of awesome. Like being able to use AI to write like way better code is kind of incredible. Like it's like yeah, I guess it's vibe coding to an extent, but the code is
Mm-hmm.
like superior, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
even this guy, his name is Mike. A lot of the code that he wrote last year for Cheeto, he's redone a lot of it using AI because it's actually just more performant, and like that's saying a lot for somebody who is I already thought was one of the best like developers I had like met in terms of like building very performant systems. So yeah, it's dude, it's a crazy time. But anybody who is like interested in AI agents and wants to kind of get involved and like leverage AI agents for themselves, Gito's going to be that
Mhm.
place, and there's going to be a lot of skills contributed to Gito.
And
So it's like yeah,
and so would that be a kind of a multi-chain tool? Because if you think
yes,
that okay, so Kaushi is probably going on chain with Solana, and you said the bot, the AI agents that you're creating is tailored to Solana. So we have Polymarket on Polygon, probably Kaushi on Solana. We have Limitless on Base, Myriads on Abstract. So it needs to be multi-chain. And what people can do that? People can just set commands and the AI agent can do what? Make trades, jump on markets for you,
yeah,
execute orders, everything. I like
yeah,
LP
yeah,
and
yeah, exactly. Everything that you know, as long as all of these different platforms have like documents to like connect with their APIs, it can do everything. Like
okay.
the way that I'm looking at Jito is that I think that Jito is going to become the like agent layer for blockchains. Like, dude, it's crazy how powerful it is. And what makes it different than like one thing that I've had a hard time trying to get my head around, and even right now, I'm probably not going to articulate it very well, but the difference between like an agent and just like writing up like a script to like maybe market make or LP is that like agents can store memory, and they can like build on top of their skills and like iterate, right? So it actually becomes a much so instead of just being like a single script that you have to like constantly redeploy and like stop and go, like agents kind of they like develop and like they grow to be more adaptable and like better at the tasks that you give them,
Yeah,
basically.
it would be interesting
Right.
to see this kind of agents learning with, for example, mention markets. Being able to research the person who's going to do a speech or something like that, and trying to figure out how many times this or that expression will be said. That's interesting. Let me move to something that Nick mentioned to me that you are really interested. Nick said you mentioned to him token standards for prediction markets. So
Yeah.
I talked about it. So I was thinking that imagine if every market, every position that you have could be stored in a token standard with all the rules embedded on each token. So you could create a market on these or that prediction markets, and you could you could trade that position anywhere. So could you, is that what you're thinking as well, or what do
Yeah,
you think
that's
about
kind of
this?
that. I mean, so I think the I think like the problem with prediction markets, right? And I mean, there's a lot of problems with prediction markets at the moment. To be fair,
Yeah.
which like isn't a
Agreed.
it's not a bad thing. It's just like growing pain thing. But I
Hmm.
Yeah,
think
exactly.
I think that if prediction markets are to come on chain and be way more fun, you should make them composable, right? So they should be able, so like liquidity should be able to flow in between them, similar to how like liquidity can flow in between like different kinds of dexes, right? Like
Hmm.
there's
Hmm.
like, you can LP the same token on Meteora and then also LP it on
Yeah.
Orca, right?
Hmm.
So for me, what I was thinking was that like someone should try to standardize, um, should try to standardize like how prediction markets are created, whether it's using
Hmm.
AMMs or order books. And
Hmm.
honestly, it's probably order books should be standardized. But early on the Solana days, there was this company called Serum, and they basically built like a on-chain order book as like a protocol. So basically, like they had like this protocol layer that had an order book that then like any DEX can like pull the liquidity from, right? So what I'm thinking is like someone should go ahead and do something similar, but for prediction markets, and just
Hmm.
allow the best like front end and user experience to win, right? Because that way, like
Yeah.
you now have like liquidity that can be leveraged in a bunch of different ways.
Hmm.
You can have
Hmm.
it move in between markets. You can also have that liquidity like be LP'd or used for other DeFi activities. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
but but it's like the thing the I guess like the counter to that is that like it just adds like it does add another layer of complexity before it becomes more simplistic because we're already off to the wrong foot, right? Where prediction markets are not even really like blockchain native at all. Like even
Not necessarily. Yeah.
Polymarket, like they just settle like the final outcomes on chain, but like the order book and everything is happening off chain. Like they just use
Mhm.
Polygon as like a settlement layer. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yesterday we highlighted a market, and it is basically the same markets on Cauchy and on Polymarket about, will the U.S. government recognize the existence of aliens by the end of this year? And for example, on Cauchy, there's 8% chances of that happening, and when you go to Polymarket, it's 3.5%. So there's a clear arbitrage there, but there's nothing much you can do unless buying the positions and wait to that market to resolve to benefit from that. But if there was a kind of a token standard, you could buy your positions on some place
Hmm.
and sell that on somewhere else. So if we had a
that'd be
token standard,
amazing.
that would
Yeah,
be,
that'd be dope.
so we would have way more efficient markets. And if we are thinking about prediction markets as efficient markets for filtering noise from true, that will be the standard.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, so the beauty about Solana is that you can like so the thing is that everyone is like prediction markets are better than tokens, and it's like for a different use case, sure, but tokens are still fucking great. The thing about tokens and prediction markets is that they both are capable of financializing anything. You can create a token for anything, you can create a market for anything, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But like if we want to make markets more composable, for me, what makes the most sense is actually tokenizing the markets. And on Solana, what you can do is you can use the token 22 standard, which will allow for you to, create markets using tokens. You can destroy the tokens after the market is created, right? So you don't have like kind of like garbage lying around, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You can like pull the tokens from a user's wallet. Like token extensions basically allow you to have like full control over the tokens that you create, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like only on Solana right now can you do cool things like that. So that's why it's like I feel like someone should be experimenting, like creating a standard that uses token 22.
Mm-hmm. Then, since you mentioned tokens, let me change the direction of this conversation just a little bit. So
Yeah.
you said that one of the things that you were doing, and a lot of people are doing, is farming a potential poly market airdrop. So
Yeah.
what do you think would be the best use case for a poly market or any prediction market token?
Bootstrap liquidity. Like, I same like similar to how like Blur did it, like, like attract whales on the buy side and on the sell side with a token incentive, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's for me, like that's kind of the big picture, I think. I also think it'd be pretty cool if Polymarket actually does go mainstream and you have you know, like normies, non-native crypto people actually like on Polymarket consistently and they get like their first airdrop. Like it'd be really nice for people outside of crypto to experience their first airdrop, right? I think that will
Mm-hmm.
have
That's
like a
cool.
very positive net effect on the entire space because once people learn that you can literally get like thousands of dollars in money for just clicking a few buttons a day, I think that like changes everything. And then that kind of puts like tokens back in the driver's seat, right? Because right now prediction markets in the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Once people begin
Yeah.
to realize how epic,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Okay. Let me share my screen here because I found really interesting your post about this. So Neyroff was talking about chain fandom has never made much sense, and you just say that you disagree because you believe chains is basically digital nation state. And if America, and you say here, Solana has the best apps, everyone's going to come to America. And you highlighted how Solana token standards could be useful for prediction markets. So, let me try to develop what you said here. So, do you think the best chain nowadays to build a prediction market would be Solana? And what do you think? Are you going to see kind of people cheering for Solana as a chain and as a state, or for apps, whatever it will be, Cauchy, Polymarket, or whatever? What do you think it makes more sense?
yeah. I mean, I think Solana is really the best place to build any app because the infrastructure is so composable and it's so much more advanced than on any chain because the thing about Ethereum, the problem with Ethereum is that because it's open source, things just moved really slow, and there really wasn't a lot of incentives to go ahead and like further develop a lot of their token standards, right? Whereas Solana from day one was kind of seen as like kind of a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
They launched a bunch of companies, funded them, and like those companies their sole focus was just to develop infrastructure, right? So there's a reason why we've seen so like all of the biggest unicorns to come out this cycle on the consumer side are from Solana, like Phantom, Magic Eden, what else?
Yeah.
Phantom, Magic Eden, a Pump Fun. you
Fun,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
like Bonk, like dude, it's just
Mm-hmm.
like all of these fucking consumer apps that like absolutely slapped this cycle came from Solana, and that's really because of like the infrastructure, like the tech is just better. And I know it's a meme, but like I bet on the tech at $11, and now it's sitting at like whatever 195 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the tech does win out in the long run.
And do you think that the projects that are building prediction markets nowadays on Solana, are they going to have any chance if Cauchy actually moves on chain to Solana? Do you
Well,
think
I
that
think
there will be some competition, or Cauchy will gotta get them all?
so. I think Kalshi. I have a bookmark, but I think Kalshi actually moved some of their data. Like they made some of their data available on chain. They're doing some sort of collaboration with Pit, where you can
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
essentially
they've got a
pull
couple of
Kalshi data.
oracles. The
Yeah,
the Stork was another one. So they're starting to look like they're doing their Oracle stuff first before they do anything else, which kind of makes sense because blockchains are good for that.
yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, if Kalshi comes on chain, that's great. But dude, it's like I mean, I work for a KYC company, and I can tell you right now, like it's like pulling teeth to onboard new
Oh
users.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like it
yeah.
genuinely is, and it's like there's no, there's there's almost like the argument building on a blockchain and requiring KYC like is just very weak. Like it weakens all of the other like pros because the whole concept around blockchains is to really be like these permissionless and like composable ecosystems that kind of allow anybody to just go ahead and interact. Now, like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
obviously you don't want like North Korea like you know like moving funds like washing funds through your
Through your
platform, right?
protocol, yeah, for sure.
But like, but like, I think there's other ways around that than having to do KYC, right? Like, I genuinely think
I
that there's other ways around it.
if you just look at TradFi, I mean, the Mexican cartels move all of their money through HSBC, right? So like KYC
Yeah,
doesn't actually stop money laundering, and it definitely doesn't stop very big companies. Sorry, well, I suppose you could call cartels companies. It doesn't really inhibit very powerful people from doing the same work. It just might cost them a bit more to do it. So yeah, I think that whole KYC stops like money moving around from the criminals is just fucking crazy nonsense.
that's actually I
Yeah,
I've
it's an
legit never
interesting
thought of
point.
that. Yeah, I never thought of that's actually
What?
a great point. Like the whole
Yeah,
like
no,
your yeah
yeah, yeah. No, I get what you're saying because also like because I've been around the Bitcoin space for a while, and you talk to like people who are maybe high net worth and stuff like, oh, it's a scam. There's a lot of crime run through it, and it's like literally 2% of the network in Bitcoin is traceable to criminal activity. Maybe you could add another 5 or 10% that's hidden, but it's really clear on blockchains to see crime after it's happened and track it and see all the people involved. It's so much better than a bank. Uh, it's
dude,
like
it
banks, you
literally
just go up. If a guy moses up with a dude and goes, "Here's $1 million, open me a bank account," like all that shit disappears, right? It's like that's how does a Mexican cartel create a bank account with HSBC and nobody knows about it? And
exactly.
there's something, the number's something like 40%, and this makes lots of sense for obvious reasons, right? 40% of the money in the global financial system is illegal money. So
Yeah,
it's just like you couldn't go on chain and find that. So I think those arguments that people have that KYC kind of inhibits crime or stops crime, it's like if you've lived in the city your whole life and you know where the crime is, you also know the buildings the crime own, right? And the restaurants and the businesses they're in. Like there's a really interesting fact when Uber was on its come up. And apparently the more criminal activity in a city, the harder it was to get Uber into that city because the criminals owned the taxi services and people wouldn't like the drivers and that wouldn't on board to Uber because they were working for drug lords and gangsters.
So just
uh,
Makes
dude,
loads of sense, right? Cash businesses, like so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just it just makes tons of sense. Like these regulators just don't understand how the world actually works.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
people keep talking about crypto being used for crime, but don't you guys remember the 500 euro bill stopped to being printed because it was
Yes.
easy. It was easy to move money around and laundry money and
Yeah.
do anything because it was a lot of value in a small piece of paper.
Exactly.
One
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
reasons
I
is
remember that.
because of money laundering. So you don't need crypto to launder money. You already have banks in all the financial
Exactly.
system.
They do a great job at it.
Yeah, yeah. So
Dude, that's
let
so
me ask
funny.
you, yeah. Let me ask you this. I need to ask this too every time that we have a new guest on the show. Do you think we are in a prediction market super cycle?
Huh, no, I don't think so.
Great, great, right question, right answer.
That's how you know he's not talking
Yeah,
nonsense. This one, because there
yeah.
is no super
One
Yeah.
of
cycle yet.
us.
Not that there's not going to be one. There's
Can I
certainly
share
not one
that?
right
Can I
now.
share that gift? One of us. One of us.
One of
Yes,
us.
we don't believe. We don't believe that as well.
Yeah,
Okay, I mean,
I think we gotta see cooler shit. Like we just need to see cooler on-chain experiments,
Yeah.
and we need
Yeah. Yeah.
like like we
More
like listen.
infrastructure.
Yeah, I think more infrastructure. I think that I genuinely think that what people like cool things that people can do is actually leverage the liquidity from Polymarket and from Kalshi and make like more like degen applications on chain that make the experience way better, right? And like I think
Mhm.
Polycule is like a step in the right direction. Um, but yeah, I think we just need more time.
yeah, yeah. So I think, dude, we, as you said, we have so many problems in prediction. We have problems from market creation, initial liquidity, until market resolution. So we have problems in all the phases of the prediction markets still. So I think we are far from being on a super cycle, although we are evolving really fast, and it's really interesting to see
Yeah.
what's going on. So Jitoshi, thanks. I would like to say thanks a lot for joining us. We usually, when we have guests, we divided the show in two parts, like the first half with our guests and the second part going through some content. I would like to invite you, if you're free, for a few more minutes to stay with us and go through some content. If you cannot, I will understand.
Yeah, for sure. I'll hang around.
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah.
So
Appreciate you
let's.
guys.
No, we thanks for being here with us, sharing your thoughts. So at the beginning of the show, we were sharing this Gawker post about how the volume in Kaushi has been, as according to him, it's going down. But as Nick mentioned, dude, it's just 3 weeks. It's not enough data for sure. And then he follow ups saying that 2 Sundays ago there was around 300 million in volume. So this past Sunday, 221 million. 2 Sundays ago there was 221 million in trade just on NFL money lines. If anyone has a guess on why this drop happened, I am all ears. One extra Monday night game doesn't really explain. That I think it's the same thing. I mean, we don't have
Why
enough
doesn't he go
data,
to
you know.
traditional betting data sets and look and see if they have those drops? And if they have those drops, then it's seasonal. If not, then something's going on with Kalshi. It's quite easy to explain, but it's a bit lazy like to just post this one data and not go away and look for other information to like validate this or invalidate this or speak to it. Just saying, has anybody else got an idea? Um, I
Yeah.
think you would need to look at general betting volumes around whatever sport it was. It's NFL, right? It's American football,
Hmm.
not soccer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So, like,
not soccer.
what is the betting trend around NFL this time of the season every year? Oh, Jitoshi's gone and he's back. Wait
He's
a minute,
back.
he'll be
He's
back.
back.
Yeah, he
He's
is. He's
back.
back.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's. I think that one's quite easy to clean up,
Yeah.
and that's
And as we mentioned yesterday, we actually these intrigues me more. How Kaushi got really higher volume, like for the last 3 weeks, and then poly markets started to get some traction back again. But
Yeah,
again,
I think that's
we
purely the IPO. Not sorry, not
probably,
the IPO.
yeah. I mean,
The
not
part
the
they
IPO,
they got
ICO.
a lot of eyeballs, a lot of ear attention
Yes,
2 weeks ago. Like they were the only prediction market in the world 2 weeks ago.
yes, yes. So it could be the case. So let's move to next one. Okay, who wants access to our affiliate program? So yesterday we were talking about. I mean, Nick was talking about if there was we wasn't sure because basically what happened is that we saw a guy complaining about how supposedly influencer was taking advantage of you by talking about their prediction market and shooting their referral link, but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
clear for us that there was a referral program, but it seems there is. But even though some of the people that the guy mentioned, they are putting out some pretty good content. So
Yeah,
I
I think if they're putting out crap and just try to rinse you, that's one thing. But like we can tell the difference. It's quite easy to tell the difference between people who are genuinely interested and maybe learning or actually are experienced versus people just shelling shit to you. If they're adding value, I don't see the problem with them getting an affiliate link out there.
Yeah. And Jitoshi, feel free to jump on and share your thoughts
Yeah.
about
The way it
anything.
works is at any point somebody can just jump in and rattle
Yeah.
out their point of view. You don't need
Oh yeah.
there's no manners here, man. Just cut in.
Can you
Yeah.
hear me? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yes.
No, I
yeah.
was thinking, who wants to? Okay, yeah, do the affiliate program. So my boy Dancing Eddie, actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but Dancing Eddie, he's like a streamer, and he got a Kalshi offer. He was one of the first people to get a Kalshi offer. He accepted it. It was for no money, like zero money. They were just like,
All
take the
right.
badge. Yeah.
Okay.
And then instead, then like 2 weeks later, he got pinged for a Poly Market, and they're sponsoring they're sponsoring his stream now. So
Oh, cool. That's
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's
I'm just
great. We would love him to come on and talk about the flip because we always want to know who's going to flip the sides.
yeah.
Dude,
And
you guys,
you're just I'm happy for the people getting the badges, but I'm sad because after they get badges, they can join us on the show. Because I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what
Because we've had a couple
so
of
I
people
think
just
that
can't
people
come.
I mean clearly people from Couch and Poly Market are really smart, but I don't know what crosses their mind that they think we are some competition for them. Dude, the guys are raising millions of money. We are running out of
Billions.
money. They have millions of users. We barely have users, but they think we are competition. I don't know what's going on.
The guys are
It's a
fucking
crazy
crazy.
world. Yeah. Anyway, my sad part is after someone gets a badge, they don't join us on the show anymore. But
Oh, he's
yeah,
gone again.
yeah, probably some,
all right. Sorry about
some
that.
Instagram. No, don't worry. Probably some internet issue.
Yeah,
Anyway, oh, and yeah, just highlighting this. This is from Evie. She's putting out some really good content about prediction market. So this is an example. So she just said about the referral link thing. Okay, there is a referral program for Polymarket, but dude, she's putting out some pretty cool content. So
Yeah,
I don't
she
see
does
a
good
problem.
work.
Yeah,
That's the
so I
point.
don't
Like
see a
people
problem at
mad at
all.
other people getting paid because they're doing good shit. That's
Yeah,
makes no sense to me.
people are jealous. That's it. It's people being
Yeah,
people.
it could be it. Or just spiteful.
Yeah, just shout outs to Gondor. And Gondor is doing something that, I mean, I will say that it's pretty cool, but I want to try it out. And just shout out to we had Arseni here in the show a few weeks ago. They are hiring. So if you're looking
Yeah.
for a job and opportunity on prediction market, check it out.
Lots of different jobs. So
Yeah.
looks good over there.
So and basically what they are doing, and this could be it will be benefit from a token seller for prediction markets. What they are doing is building DeFi tools for your positions on Polymarket. So basically, not for all the markets as Arsenio was clear about it. So basically, you have a position on Polymarket, so that has value. What you can do here on Gondor is you deposit your Polymarket tokens, your positions there, and use that as collateral to mint more money, to borrow money, so you can leverage and you can use that money again on Polymarket or somewhere else, which is something pretty cool. Let's go. So this is what Jitoshi mentioned about badges. So who wants a badge? And what I like in this post is to see people highlighting their winnings. So, some of them are losing,
I was
sadly.
losing.
Yeah, and remember, guys, we mentioned this a few weeks ago. Dude, this one is a good one. So
Wow.
basically, we see like 87% of the people who are playing around on prediction markets, at least on poly market, is actually losing money. This is why we call it the $1 trade show. So I mean, dude, don't put your life money on the line here. Just like I saw a lot of people complaining about perp taxes on Friday. But dude, if you're getting all your money and put on perpetual taxes just to farm tokens, you're doing that wrong. I mean, you need to
that's,
manage
that's
risks.
some scary high leverage shit.
Yeah, man. And I've been highlighting this since ever in the show. The problem with retail is risk management, you know? You will make money. I mean, you don't need to put everything you have and risk everything in only one trade. Anything you would like
What's
to
your
add,
thoughts, Ray?
Toshi? Are you the kind of person that it's all in? Let's change the life in one trade, or you take it
One
slowly?
lifetime trade.
Bro, I think all of us go through that period, you know. Like I don't know, I've round tripped definitely like at least $1 million, you know, since being here. At least, you know, like I mean, you want to believe, you know, you want to believe. So that, but for me, like my belief is just let me just hold a bunch of Solana for at least until 2030 and then see what happens, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
See, that's nice and safe. That's not an unreasonable approach to managing money. Oh, not financial advice by anybody here,
Yeah,
but like these are not unreasonable behaviors. Like holding and being very long has benefited most people who operate in any market.
yeah.
Actually,
But that's
that's
my
basically
point. So
Buffett's one
if
of Buffett's plans is buy
yeah,
it, hold it instead of holding it for 2 years. Hold it for five. I think is what his is.
but if you like the thrill of trading, and I'm not saying that it's not cool, it is, dude. I mean, I've
Oh, it's
been
so
there.
cool looking.
It is, it's really cool to win some money, but you don't need to do that with all your net worth. Save some money. You don't need to farm per taxes without understanding that with all the money you have.
They will
And
liquidate you.
yeah, by the way, so people are flexing their poly market swag on social media. Last week, people were doing the same with Kaushi hats and stuff. I should be flexing my Groovy Market t-shirt and
Yeah,
stuff here.
we've not got our groovy market gear on today.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you
Been
guys
a rough
gotta
week.
throw that on.
Yeah, we do. Well, it was in this room. It's probably getting washed. Actually,
yeah.
that's probably what's
So
going on.
this is Evie. So I just mentioned her. This is one example of cute content that she's putting out. Maybe she's probably what she's saying here is, no, you're not stupid if you don't get market orders or limit orders, and she explained it. So this is usable content. Basically, a market order, you pay whatever the price it is there, and the thing is, if your order is really big, or if the market liquidity is really shallow, you are going to fulfill all the prices. Let's say if you're thinking on an order book and you have like $10 liquidity at 50 cents, and you place a $100 order, you're gonna eat that $10 at 50 cents, and you start to buy at whatever price it is after that. So that is a market order. So if you don't care for spread, go for a market order. A limit order, on the other hand, you set a limit. So you set a range of price that you're going to pay for. So from this or that price, between that range, that's where you're going to fill your orders. So if you're using Binance, for example, or pretty much any other centralized exchange, when you execute an order, you are probably going to see multiple notifications, because that is multiple orders. I mean, if you're using a market order, it's just going to eat the order book. I mean, let's say level by level till everything's changed. So yeah, this is good content about prediction markets for people who don't get it. Um, are you into esports, Jitoshi?
No, man, dude, I don't. I honestly just suck at video games, and I have a PS5 that I haven't even used. I have a PS5, Nintendo Switch. I bought them both last year. Don't even use them. They just sit there, and I'm just like, I hate it.
This is good. This is why you're building stuff. You're not playing video
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Keep doing that. But yeah. So I like video games, but I like Age of Empires. I'm an old guy. This is, and I have a Mac, so I cannot run Age of Empires here anymore. Anyway,
I
so
like Mario Kart. I'm a
Mario,
classic.
I
I will
never
play
liked
that
Mario
shit
Kart.
whenever.
I love Mario Kart. I have
It's a
Mario Kart.
4-minute game. It's like it's not going to mess up your whole life if you get a wee bit addicted to it.
Fuck
What
yeah.
was the other one? Rocket League. You get that on the Switch, by the way. Rocket League's awesome. It's again, but lots of short games, so you're not like going to sit there for. The last game that I played that was long haul was like I played it for 40 odd hours, and I was not
Fuck.
living with my partner at the time. And every night I would just disappear for like 4 or 5 hours and come alive again about midnight. And she'd be like, first she was really worried. She thought something had happened to me, and I was like, no, sorry. I'm on the beanbag, and I'm just like going. I'm now this 14-year-old girl in the computer game, and I need to shoot these robots. So I don't exist. Basically, how it works.
Okay. So Kaushi is now integrating some esports games. League of Legends is being highlighted here, and Ali, if you don't remember, he now used it to be an immutable. It's part of Kaushi now. Yeah, and if you are into esports, you can come to Groovy and you can create a market on esports. Where is it? Esports. Yes. So you can use it here.
Nice little
So
plug, man. Well done. That was very seamless.
I know. It was. I've been training, man. I've been sick, but I've been training. So this is just interesting to see the path of Polymarket. As we saw last week, they raised $2 billion investment from the owners of the stock exchange in the US. 2022, CFTC accused Polymarket of operating a legal binary options market without registration. And 2024, FBI researched Shane Copeland home and seized his phone and devices right after the elections in the US. And then this year they raised $2 billion from the owners of the stock exchange. So innovation is always feared at first until people realize how essential it is to society. Polymarkets, it's innovation. Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting to see how things changed fast, like in 3 years. But
Yeah.
that was really fast.
I reckon, Jitoshi, what's your feeling on regulation versus no regulation? What's your vibe?
Dude, fuck regulation.
I tell you, I fucking should have wrote that in a piece of paper here and held it up like I'm writing the answer because I knew that was it. We've not spoken very much, me and Jitoshi, but I get the vibe. I'm on it. I like it. I basically said the same thing with on a partner call yesterday. Like, what about regulation and legal? I was like, fuck that shit. It'll be okay. We'll sort it out.
So the new class of prediction market traders is emerging fast, data-driven, and already moving millions across Kalshi, Polymarket, Limitless, and Myriad markets. So Kalshi and Polymarket set a record of 1.4 billion monthly trading volume. Polyalpha traders logged $20 million in realized profit on Predictfolio led by Carr. So Carr, we're going to cover him later, one of the top traders on Polymarket, if not the top. So Kalshi commands 60% plus of regulated event contract flows in the US. Power users trade hundreds of markets weekly, often chasing edges as 5 BPS apart. But remember, okay, we say that and we highlight how profitable people can be. But remember, 87% of people that uses Polymarket at least are losing money. It's sad. So before you put all your life money there, try and learn. Go place your $1, $2 bets. Learn a little bit before do that. But yeah, that's interesting. I mean, we can see all the on-chain activity. We can follow everything that's going on. That's the beauty of the transparency of the blockchain here.
Mhm.
We can follow everything that's happening. We can understand their moves, and it's way more clear than traditional betting platforms or sports books and anything else. And we are seeing a lot of tools, just like Jitoshi mentioned. He's building an AI agent, and we are going to see a lot of integrations. But so far, there are still opportunities in prediction markets, I believe. So as we see more of these tools being developed and more people having access to that, so it's going to be even harder to have an edge. But right now, if you spend your time in prediction markets, you still have a chance to get an edge and
Mhm.
make some cash, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Oh, yeah. Just wanted to highlight this profile here. So it's Polymarket Tracker. And let me ask you, Jitoshi, I had this question. So basically, this is tracking moves on Polymarket, trying to spot whales, and with this, try to spot some insider trading here. What do you think about insider trading in prediction markets? Do you think that that's a feature, or it's a bug? We should try and fight insider trading on prediction markets.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's hard. It's just a hard thing to. It's. I think there's everyone's insiders in all markets, to be honest. So you know, I don't think that the government officials should be, taking insider bets or anything. But yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's very
Also,
difficult.
really quick, I do have to hop off. I have a meeting to get into right now. So
No
Sure,
problem. And
I think that's our
thanks.
last one anyway, so perfect timing.
Yeah,
all
thanks.
right, appreciate you guys.
Thanks a lot for joining
Right.
us. Have a great one. It was great to have you here.
Likewise. Talk soon.
See you later, dude.
Bye bye.
Ciao.
Yeah. So
I will just wrap
basically,
up on this because I was talking
yeah,
about it yesterday as well.
yeah.
There's always
Okay,
insider trading. You can't
there
get
is.
rid of
Yeah,
it, right? There's
yeah, yeah.
always somebody that knows something that you don't. I think I like what Toshi said there. It's like I think if you work in the government, um, but again, you shouldn't be allowed to bet on the information you have, right? But then
Yeah.
again, how can you actually stop that from happening? Because you could just tell your family member or friends to bet on
Mm-hmm.
these things,
Yeah.
and then they give you like a percentage of whatever they make, right? Like I think it's pretty standard. It's happening, right? Because in the
Mm-hmm.
US, they're allowed to do it, and they have to just say that they've did it. And even if they're late in saying they did it, they don't really get into trouble. It also happens
Mm-hmm.
in the UK. I presume it happens in Brazil as well. I think it happens
Probably.
absolutely
Yeah.
everywhere. Um, because why wouldn't somebody want to use the opportunity to make money? Why wouldn't they use that opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
Even if they've got loads and loads of money, people still want to make more and more money.
Mm-hmm. I told you this story. So kind of 2 years ago, the one of the ministers in Brazil, like I don't know the name, how you call that in English, but so one of the guys who was part of the government, he used to be a banker. So
Hmm.
after a meeting, kind of 1 hour before the market closed, there was the biggest order of buying stocks
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
Brazilian stock exchange. The biggest
Like ever,
after that meeting
right?
ever. That
Yeah,
was scaled
ever.
the
Yeah.
attention. And some information that was sharing in that meeting was really important for that specific company, petrol company here. And then on
Mm.
the next day, the guy cashed out the money, and everybody's saying that was that minister, but dude, no, nothing happened. Anyway,
No, nothing happens. That's the thing. It's like there's no penalty
nothing
for
ever happens, right? Nothing ever
no,
happens.
nothing ever happens.
That's it. So, and just to close it up, car we just mentioned here. So the Polymarket whale who won $500,000 betting on Joe Biden dropping out is now going big on Xi Jinping being out of power. He already spent 250,000 and is still buying probably nothing. So yeah,
Probably nothing.
this is something. This is something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
That's it. That
I mean,
that's
him
it
him
for
coming out of power will cause quite a lot of shifts if that
a
happens.
lot of shit's going to happen, dude. If people are crazy with the tariffs fight on Friday, if he suddenly drops out, I wonder what's going to happen with our leverage positions on perp dexes.
Guys, just
Is
get
it
out those fucking things right now.
is
They are
it
crazy.
is it going to worth farming an airdrop? Dude, what's the point of farming a few $1,000s an airdrop? You for risking like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't see the
It-
point, but
It's
I
kind of
don't
like
see the
that
point.
guy who did the like almost put down
Yeah,
$100,000 when the
100,000 to
Hamas
get.
ceasefire was it or hostage release, and he put down almost $100,000 to get $100,000, and I was like,
Yes. Fuck.
either you're mental, like an
Yeah.
absolute like degenerate gambler, or if you lost that $100,000, it wouldn't affect your life at all.
Yeah.
Like you don't care.
But dude,
Because the risk reward, it was what was that, 1%
yeah,
reward
it was really
on
low. It was
100
really
grand
low.
bet? Like
Yeah.
wild.
Dude, and when I just to be clear, make myself clear, I talk this shit because I did everything wrong in the past. Dude, I remember I was talking to Nick earlier today. So once I put basically all my net worth on a protocol and just to farm some tokens and some shit, and it worth it for like a couple of weeks. But dude, the protocol doesn't even exist anymore. That's how crazy, you know, things can
And they
be.
were a well-funded organization. They had many years of money,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
is now
So
gone, or we think
yes,
it's gone.
that's
What
it.
did you say? The contract still got money in it, right?
Yeah, there is still some money. There is always some money left in these contracts, you know.
All these
There's
monies.
always.
So you can't do that on Bitcoin. If people like build businesses and have things locked up in smart contracts, you're basically decreasing the supply and causing Bitcoin to like go even higher in
Yeah,
price.
yeah,
And it just
yeah.
sits there teasing everybody that nobody can touch this
By the
contract.
way, shout outs to Rootstock that gave me this really cool
Oh,
cut. Because I have $10 in Bitcoin on Woodstock that I cannot withdraw because it's more expensive to remove the money than the money that
how?
I have
That's
there.
not
I
true.
don't
I
know.
fucking paid like 10
I don't
cents for a
know.
transaction the other day. And I know Solana
I'm
people are
doing
like, oh my
something
God,
wrong.
10 cents. It's
I
kind of
just
like
don't
what
com-
fucking,
I
what's
just
his
don't
name?
complain because I got some nice swag from them. That's the only reason I
Exactly.
don't
They've got
complain.
great swag. If you don't know Rootstock, check them out. They're an
Check
EVM
them
on
out.
Bitcoin.
And they are nice
They are
people.
literally an OG. They've been building forever. The original founder was instrumental in bringing you Ethereum. But yeah, interesting. Rootstock should sponsor this.
They should. They should. So once again, shout out to Rootstock with the nice swag that I've got. I use
Oh, wait
these
there,
every day.
Diego. Before we end the show, somebody from Rumble has showed up. Hello, Rumble people.
Oh,
Woo!
I was
We
missing
get nothing
you.
from YouTube. YouTube never, not even a thing. Not a single fucking thing. Those greedy bastards keep all their views for themselves.
Fuck you,
Rumble at least
YouTube.
shares one person. Love to see you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. We love you. Yes, we will be. So, guys, thanks a lot for joining us. We will be back on Monday because it's already Thursday. Hopefully, I will
Yeah,
be 99% better by
that's
then.
not acceptable. I need 100% from you, Diego.
Hopefully,
You must
no.
be 100%.
Hopefully, I will. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for joining us. Nick, thanks a lot.